Hi crocheters of the world. In this tutorial, as you can see here, we will work together on this top-down pullover, sweater pullover actually. And I designed this pullover from beginner to advanced crocheter, obviously, because it's crocheted. So I tried to put the most important things together to give you a overall idea of what is the meaning of a top-down pullover crocheted in crochet, let's say. So of course we begin with the measuring, how to measure. I give you some measures in stitches if you want to work exactly with the yarn that I'm working, or with the kind of yarn, because maybe you cannot find exactly the yarn that I worked with. I worked with Drops Fable, so if you can find it, it's okay. If you cannot find it, it's okay, because you can just try with another yarn that is fingering. It's fingering sport yarn or baby yarn. So this is actually the one that I work with is 75% wool and 25% acrylic. It's a really nice yarn, very thin, so it's yarn to be worked with. Actually it's sock yarn, so it's sock or fingering yarn. It's yarn to be worked with 3 millimeters hook. And I began with 3.5 millimeters hook, and then I continue on with 4 millimeters hook, because I wanted to obtain this nice and soft effect. I didn't work a sock, so I didn't want a how can I say it, rigid texture. Okay, so full texture. I want something more, something soft and nice and light texture. And this is what I obtained by working with a 4 millimeters hook with a yarn to be worked with a 3 millimeters hook. Okay, now what I want to say is that it's a top-down. As I said before, it's easier because from my point of view the top-down constructions are easier than the bottom-up constructions, because we just begin with the measure that are important for a pullover, for a garment, piece of garment. Okay, so we begin with the back side and the sleeves, and we just continue on working the yoke, the entire yoke, which means front, back and sleeves, until we reach the arm bit here, and then we divide and we work the body, and then we work the sleeves. So it's really easy. Once you finish the yoke, you can say you just get it. So you have the pullover, okay? Because the rest is so easy. So the most important part in a top-down construction is the yoke. I am always saying this is the yoke. So it's very important part, because we actually give the measure we give the measure to that piece of garment, so it's important. When you work a bottom up, you just begin from the bottom, okay, and you go on, and the last part is the yoke, which means you don't know so you don't know for sure, you cannot put it on you to be sure that what are you doing, it's okay, until it's ready. And this is, you know, not very nice. Okay, but with the top down you can put it on you, you can see if it's okay, it fits you, it doesn't fit you. So it's you to decide if you need to go on with some more increasing rounds before you divide. Okay, so that's why I love this structure. Okay, so the top down. So I began. I actually at the beginning I structure it for the yoke with the stitches that you need to begin in 4 or 5 sizes, but it's really easy to alter. And then I actually tell you the measures in centimeters, so how you can alter in other size that mine, which is M size, medium size. Okay, so that's why I say I think it's really perfect for a beginner too. Okay, then into the second part, because there are 2 parts for this video lesson. Into the second part I just work the sleeves, so I show you how to decrease for the sleeve to be perfect for your wrist and all that you need, and the borders. And let me tell you that I am so excited for these borders. Okay, maybe you will say it's nothing, there are borders. This is a border that I invented, and it's a double border, so it creates a nice finishing, I can say, for my pullover. And you can use this border for blankets or some other projects, of course. It's a really tricky and nice border, believe me. So I put it around the neckline, on the bottom part, and on the sleeves too, and I think it gives a nice effect. Okay, now I let it to the tutorial. I forgot to tell you the quantity of yarn. I work with about, I used about 400 grams. Okay, so this is 8 balls of 50 gram of drops fable yarn. But as I said before, you can just use any kind of yarn. You can use changing color yarn, which like this one. Okay, you don't have to use one color, so you can use as you wish, obvious, but the amount is 400 grams for a medium size. So now you are, if you want it bigger, you will add 100 grams. Okay, so for a large size 100, then for extra large 200, and so on. Okay, now this is it. I let you do the tutorial. Hope you will enjoy. See you at the next tutorial. Bye bye. So let's see how to begin our blouse sweater. So we will begin. I am working with a sport yarn or sock yarn. It's a yarn to be worked with, suitable for 3mm hook, and I'm working with a 3.5mm hook. If you work very tight, you can work with 4mm hook, but only if you work very tight. Now we will begin. For here we have the sizes small, medium, large, extra large, and extra large. For small medium we will begin with 78 chains, then 88, then 98, and we will have 42 for the back side, 40 plus 40 for the sleeves, and 48 and 16, 54 and 18. And we will have 8 more chains, and these 8 more chains, 4 are for the 2 front sides, so 2 and 2, and other 4 are for the 4 stitches where we will work the raglan increases. Now let's see how to work the very first row. I have 78 chains, and now I will begin. Each row we will work in rows for about, actually for 4, 5 and 6 rows, and then we will join together and we will work in rounds. For these rows, 4, 5 and 6 rows, we will increase at the beginning and at the end of each of them, which means each row begins with chain 2, doesn't count as a stitch. Into the third row now from the hook, insert hook and work 1 double crochet plus 1 more. And these are this is the first increase. Now into the next chain work 1 double crochet, and this is the front side. Into the next chain we will work the first raglan increase. So we will work 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet. And now we will work 14, 16 or 18 stitches for the sleeve. 1, so in each of our next chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So this is the sleeve. Into the very next chain I will work my second raglan increase. So 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet. This is what I have so far. Now I will continue on with 42, 48 or 54, so depends on the size that you choose. Have chosen actually. We will continue on with the back side. Then into the next we will work again a raglan increase, so 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet. Then we will work again our other sleeve, and then into the very next chain again a raglan increase, the third, 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet, and we will finish with, we will have 2 more chains to finish to the end. We will finish with 1 double crochet into second to last and 2 double crochets into the last, and this will be the other side, front side, and this will be our first row. I almost finished my first row. I was wrong, it's not 16, it's 14. I wrote well, but I took it from here, so it's 14, not 16 in my case. Okay, so 14 for the sleeve and the raglan increase, then 42 for the back side, and then the raglan increase, again 14 for the sleeve, and now I have 3 more chains left, which means into the very next I will work the last raglan increase, so there must be 4. And then I will have 2 more chains, and into the second to last I will work 1 double crochet. Into the last, don't forget we need to increase because we increased at the beginning. This is the very first row. Now from the second row always chain 2 for these 4, 5 or 6 rows, so depends on the size that you are following. You will work 4, 5 or 6 rows for the neckline. Okay, 4, 5 and 6 rows, and you will increase at the beginning and at the end in each of these rows, and of course the raglan increase. Let me show you how. So chain 2. Now we will work back loop only. That's all, and don't forget 1 and 2, the first increase. Then I will go on and work all the stitches to the chain 2. Like this. Into the chain 2 space, as I said before, we will work 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet, and now I will continue on with the sleeve and so on. So it's really easy. Let's see how it looks. And this working in back loop only will give to our sweater a so very nice and lovely effect. Okay, so now I will continue on 4 rows, which means I already work 1. I have to work 3 more, exactly as I shown you. So don't forget to increase into the regular increases, so 4 increases, and at the beginning and at the end of each row. So into each row you will end up with 2 more stitches for each part: sleeves, back side and front sides. Okay, so I went on for 5 rows, not 4 as I said before. Because I want it more, I don't know, I want it larger to be around the neck. And depends on how you want it actually. If you want it tighter around the neck, you can just complete 4, 5 or 6. If you want it larger, you will complete 5, 6 or 7. Or let's say as many rows as you want. Now let me just show you how you will calculate this difference that we want to put here to close actually. So this one, it's the back side, the number of back side, which in my case is 52. So I completed 5, is 52. The number of back side minus the sum of the front sides, which is 24. So 12, I have 12 plus 12 on my front sides now, and it's 24. So I will have to complete with 28 chains, and I slip stitch on the next side, so at the beginning actually of my last row, to join in rounds. If you complete 4, you will have 50. So for, let's say, if you want it tighter, 50 minus 20, okay? Yes, minus 20. Or for large or extra large, if you complete 5 rows, you will have 58. 58 minus 24, it's 34 chains you will have to put. Or if you complete 6, you will have 60 on the back side minus 28. Both front sides are 14. So you will have to complete, you will have to chain 32 chains. Or for the extra large, if you complete 6 rows, you will have 66 stitches on the back side minus 28. Yes, minus 28, which is 14 plus 14. And it is 38 the number of chains that you have to put. So these are all chains, okay, that you have to complete. So it's a difference between the back side and the both front sides, okay, that we have to complete with. And if you complete 7 rows, you will have 68 stitches for the back side minus 32, which is 16 plus 16 of the front sides. It's 36 chain that you have to put. And now I will just put my chains on and join in rounds. So 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 and 28. And now when you join, just be sure that it is not twisted, sorry. So please fold it in half, okay? Please, 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 it's very important. And insert hook into the very first stitch and slip stitch to join. Now chain 1 and cut your yarn. You can cut your yarn now because we will begin the round. I will show you where. Okay, now let us begin to work in round. We will work in round, but as if we work in rows, because we want to keep on working this little pattern stitch here with back loop only. So we will insert hook here exactly as I keep it, like this, here, into this chain 2 space, and slip stitch to join, chain 1, and work your very first yarn over, work your very first double crochet, pull through 2 and through 2. Okay, and now I will continue on working my 12 stitches here, back loop only. Okay, back loop only. So we will keep on going with back loop only. So 12 I have here. I will work my 12. Then I will work my 28 double crochets on my chains that I added. Then I will work again 12 on the other side, the number of stitches that I had when I finished my last row, and then finally I will work an entire raglan increase, so double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. We will work for the rest of the yoke only and only with the raglan increases. 4 raglan increases. We don't increase anymore at the beginning and at the end, because actually we don't have any more beginning and end. We work in rows. Now let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So just be sure, and this is my last 12, just be sure that you are working all the stitches. Here into the chain 2 space where I began, I actually work one part of my increase, of this raglan increase, okay? And I will be back, I will work the other. And now I am continuing on my 28 stitches on my chain. Okay, so I will go on and work, just want to work the tail too. I will go on and work all around, and I will be back to show you how to finish, how to join, and how to begin another round. This is the first round that we are working. So I worked all around my first round, and I am here now. I want to join and to show you how to join and how to begin a new round. So I worked my last stitch. I have here my chain 2 space. Now I will yarn over into the chain 2 space. I will work 1 double crochet, so to complete the increase, and a chain 1, yarn over, insert hook into the very first double crochet that you worked, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 and pull through 2. This is how we finish. Now we will turn, always turn our work. Insert hook around and pull up a loop like this. So it's kind of slip stitch because I want to be here. Okay, like this. Okay, now draw a little bit up this loop, yarn over, and work your first double crochet, which is the double crochet, the first double crochet of the increase. Okay, and we will come back and we work exactly as I shown you before. Another double crochet and a chain 1 double crochet. Let me show you one more time. Actually, I just want to be sure that you understand. So we complete the increase with 1 more double crochet. We chain 1, yarn over, and to finish, instead of chain 2, chain 1 and insert hook, work a double crochet like this. Now turn your work. We will always turn our work as if we still work in rows, because we want to continue on this nice effect that we have with the back loop only. And now we just go under and pull up a loop and pull through this one, so kind of like this. Yarn over, and now we will work the very first double crochet of the increase. We will continue on with the stitches back loop only, and that's all. This is how you will finish, and you will begin each round of the yoke. You will continue on like this, increasing into each round into each 4 raglan increases. So you will continue on like this until you will have the number of rounds that you need for the raglan line. So that will be to the underarm, but this is something that I will explain you just in a few times. So I'm back because I finished all the yoke. For me it's perfect. Now the raglan, the first of all you have to, I will tell you how many rows I worked, but totally, okay, so it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 and 24, 22 and 23, sorry, because there are 24 centimeters, 23 and a half centimeters to be precisely, okay, the raglan increase. And for a M side, a small medium side size, the raglan increases, so the line of the raglan increases must be about between 22, 23 or 22 and 24, let's say, centimeters, okay? So it's you to figure out. Now, just to be sure, taking on you, so put a marker like this, so just to join the underarm, so to create actually the sleeve, and put it on you. If it is too straight, which means you will need to complete with 1 or 2 more rounds. If it is perfectly fit. Now what is the meaning of this perfectly fit yourself? It's that underarm must be nice and loose, okay? So it's very important not to be too tight, so okay. So for me it's perfect like this, and I just to work the division round, and then I will go on only with the body. So from now on I won't say any stitch number, or I don't know, only in centimeters I will talk, because it's about centimeters actually here, or number of rounds, okay? Okay, so now let me show you how to divide. Now what is the meaning of this dividing after we finish the yoke? So we will actually work only the body, front and back, and we will leave out the sleeves. So I am here like this is front side, and I will turn and work on this side, okay, but because we turn after each round to begin. So I will chain, actually I am working like this, and I work like this all. I found out that it's better and maybe easier, so it's chain 2 and slip stitch to join, not chain 1 and double crochet. And to begin a new round, let me show you. So chain 1, now slip stitch into the first and into the second. You can try this one too. Into the first it's enough, and yarn over and work your first double crochet. And this is how I work it, okay? And when I come back, I work into the chain 2 space, 1 more double crochet and chain 2 to join, okay? Now that's it. And this is how I will work the division round. So I work a double crochet into the chain 2 space, and now I am working on my front side, okay? And I will continue on working all the stitches on my front side. And then at the end of the front side I will work 1 double crochet into the first chain of the chain 2 space of the raglan increase between the front and the sleeve, the other sleeve, and then I will put some chains underarm, and I will skip the sleeve, and I will work, I will show you, okay? So just let me go on and work my my front side now, okay? I work all the front side. So I worked my last stitch on the front side, and now I have to skip the stitches for the sleeve, and I will work into the chain. So I have the chain 2 space where I used to raglan increase. Now I will work into the first chain 1 double crochet, then I will chain 1, 2 and 3, chain 3. So now it's you to decide how many chains you need. Okay, so take it, as I said, try it. You have to try it. Now I will so I chain 3. You can chain, I don't know, but not an even number. Chain a odd number, 3, 5, 7, and you will see why. And now not into the first chain but into the second chain. So 1, 2 into the second chain, as you keep like this, insert hook and work your double crochet. Okay, so I chained 3 for the underarm, and now I am ready to work my double crochet as I worked it here. Okay, I work another one here, and now I am on the wrong side, and I am just go on the back side, sorry. I am on the back side, and now I will just go on and work all my back side, and then I will be back to show you exactly the way you have to finish your round, division round. So I almost finish on the back side all the stitches. I have to work one more, so I actually finished them. I have to work them to work one more into the first chain of the chain 2, you know, the double crochet that we added on each side, and now chain 3 exactly as we did for the other sleeve. Skip the sleeve and insert hook into the very first double crochet and slip stitch to join. Now we will continue on working in rounds without the sleeves, and we want to turn to begin a new round exactly as we did before, to continue on working in back loop only and to have this nice little pattern stitch here. So chain 1 and turn. Now this is the very first row that we work only with so only the body, so only back and front of the body. Now I will skip with slip stitch into the third chain. So slip stitch into the first, slip stitch into the second, and slip stitch into the third chain, and I will tell you why. Chain 1, yarn over, insert hook into the third chain and work your first double crochet of this round. And now back loop only, we begin with the stitches on the back side. We finished with the back side, we begin with the back side. Now what I want to say is that for the body we will work only double crochet back loop. So this is a pattern that I created, I designed for beginners too. So even if you are new to crochet pullovers or sweaters, you can follow this and do it by yourself. It's so easy. I give you so many possibilities. So I tell you the how many stitches, how many rows, rounds I completed in centimeters. I measure in centimeters. I actually tell you how to try it, how to fit you, so it's really easy to follow. Okay, now I will go on and work my double crochets until the chain 3 here, and here I want to show you how to work. So I am on my 1, 2, 3, my 3 chains. So into the very first I want to double crochet, then I want to chain 1 to skip the second and double crochet into the third, and we will always work like this. And this is really nice because we will have a nice long line on sides. It's really I don't know, I like it, and it's not only for the sake of for aesthetic sake. It's for something more important, let's say, too, because on one side and on the other side, so into this and this, we will increase to give shape to our sweater. So a sweater must fit on hip circumference 2. And for this we need to put some increases. Now on each 5 or 6, so in each 5th or 6th round we will increase on one side and on the other side of the chain 1 space underarm, both underarms, obvious. Okay, so this is you to decide. It's how you like it, larger or I don't know. It's anyway a large fit. This cardigan, I just designed it as a large fit, nice and comfortable, cozy. So I recommend you to increase on each 6th round, but depends on you, obvious, how you want it large. Now I will actually go on with my front side, and then I want to show you how to finish the round and how to begin a new round. And that would be all for the body. So I worked all the stitches. Actually I have one more to work here, and I'm on my slip stitched chains, 2 chains, and I will work into the first 1 double crochet, then I will skip the second with a chain, and of course when I worked my first double crochet I will slip stitch to join. And now to begin a new round we will chain 1 and turn, and we will always want to work into this stitch, so the last stitch here that we worked, this one. Okay, so actually the first of the previous row. And how? Yarn over, and it's like we work the crab stitch a little bit. We go to the right, insert hook, back loop only, and work the stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2 and pull through 2. And don't forget, you can also put a marker, so you will know that this is your very first stitch that you worked. So when you come back you will work this one and then slip stitch into this, and then of course we will chain 1 to skip the chain 1. Always, now from now on we will always chain 1 and work into the next your double crochet. Now when you have the increasing rounds, here you will increase, obvious, but here you will put another double crochet, you will increase at the end. So you work 1 and then at the end you will work 1 more for the increase. Okay, now I will just continue on all around, and I just want to show you how to finish and begin another round, just to be sure that you understand all the steps. Just go on. Here it's really easy because you just double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, so here it's easy. Okay, I'm about to finish the round again, and just let me show you. These are the little tricks to have a nice line, okay? Even in crochet, when you work in rounds, you know that it's the double crochet, the problem of the double crochet. Now this is my very first stitch. I also put a marker, and I highly recommend you to put a marker. So I will slip stitch into it. Just slip stitch. And now I will chain 1 and turn, but I want to begin with this one where I slip stitch in, so the first one. Okay, so this will be the first into these 2, so I will work exactly the same as a kind of crab stitch, because I chain, I yarn over and insert hook, back loop only, and work the stitch. As you finish the stitch, put the marker in it so you will know that this is your very first stitch. And when you finish the round, now you will chain and slip stitch into this stitch. Okay, and then you will begin exactly as you began the second. And these are the 2 ways of how to finish and how to begin. So a even number and a odd number round. Okay, now I just continue on all the round. So I finished in length my sweater, and I also already worked one sleeve. Now what I want to say before we go on with the sleeve, and that will be a part by itself, I just want to say something more about the yoke. So if you don't want to work with a yarn like mine, so that is to be worked with 3 millimeters, which are very thin, I just want to give you some measures, so maybe you can just figure out. So this is a very important measure, the length of the raglan, and it's 23 centimeters. So for my size, which is a small to medium, so a medium size, let's say, 23 centimeters in length of the raglan line, it's perfect for the yoke, so you can just stop. Now if you need more or less, add 1 centimeter more or less, okay, so for a larger or smaller size. So 1 centimeter or 1 or 2 centimeters more or less. Okay, then just the back side. Okay, mine is 21 centimeters. Let me just be sure. Okay, 21, yes, 22 centimeters. Okay, and this is only back, the back of the neck, in between the mid shoulder to mid shoulder, more yes, so in between the mid shoulder to mid shoulder, and this must be a multiple of 3. Okay, and then when you have this, you can just for the sleeves you just put the third part of the back side on for one sleeve and the third for the other one. Okay, so, and then the constant the part that is the same, sorry. Okay, now for the front side. Now these are the measures, and I just wanted to tell you, just to be sure that you can just continue on, you can just work it even if you don't work with a thin yarn, you want to work it with a larger with a thicker yarn, that's no problem. So I will tell you the number of the rows that I put: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 and 23. So 23 23 centimeters, 23 rounds I worked for the yoke. Okay, now this is it, the length. Obvious that it's you to decide. I increased in each of my seventh, so each of my seventh for 3 times, and then I just continue on in length. Okay, so there is no you don't have to increase at each seventh round, just to the large, that the length, not the length, the width, sorry, that you need, and then you stop, increase, and just continue on to work in rounds for the length that you need. Okay, so this is mine. Now the second part of this pullover will be for the sleeves.